Hey guys, long time no see. Definitely a long time no sketchbook talk. But, um, you know, it's been a long time, so I definitely want to put another video out here. And I figured something I can do that was fun would be another sketchbook talk, because I haven't done that since I want to say Thanksgiving of last year. And today I want to talk about how to make the most of your middle and high school years as an artist. I kind of came about to the subject because I've been hit with a wave of, wow, did I do anything with my high school career? The answer is probably not, but I'm kidding. You know, it's just one of those things in high school and middle school. You just don't know what you could be doing, what you should be doing, unless you're in high school, because then you sort of have this plan of licensed job, etc. But if you get stuck in a depression or you're just, don't know, you kind of don't know what you're doing. Or at least that's kind of where I found myself in, so I'm pushing this as sort of a do as I say, not as I do, and shut up. How to make the most of your, just out of your high school career, because it's hard as an artist. My number one thing is, just because you're planning to go to art school or make a living off of art anyway, don't neglect your grades. Don't be like me. Work on your grades now. It's going to be tempting to let yourself slip because, oh, they're going to focus on your art grades, not like my English grade. Oh, it doesn't matter if I'm taking AP classes because I'm going to do art. Shut up, do your work, do your homework, keep your GPA up. Because college is really, 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 and I cannot stress enough, really do like somebody with a good GPA. Now, a lot of art schools can be forgiving, I've noticed, looking at, the little statistics you can get with different art schools and colleges and stuff. Art schools are more likely to be forgiving, but you shouldn't put yourself at a place where you need somebody to be forgiving. That's sort of one of my big lessons this year. So do a decent GPA and do pick up some AP classes if you really think you can handle it. Or even if, just at least try it. Because I know everybody knows my infamous, I suffered through A-push last year, but I still passed the exam. I got a 4 somehow. I think I'm lucky, but college do appreciate those credits. And those AP classes, that's another class you don't have to take in high school. Not in high school, in college. It's definitely worth trying your best at your grades and all your non-art related stuff. Another thing while you're still in school is work on your art, but don't make art for other people. And that's something that screwed me over. Like right now, you see on screen, I'm drawing 2 women right now. And you can't tell on the leftmost woman, but you'll tell on the rightmost woman. These women have a lot of body hair. And that's because at some point, I just wanted to draw women with hair, mainly to stick it to people around me who are like, you shouldn't have body hair. And I'm like, screw you. It looks fine to me. And as I posted to Tumblr, somebody says, some people just do find it more attractive. And that's a good example. Do art that you want to do. Don't try to make whatever other people want. Do art for you. Do it to have fun. Ease up a little bit. And another thing is just don't worry about making good art. And the reason for that is good art just doesn't matter at some point. Everything you see me drawing, I arguably say, with the exception of, the body hair one, isn't my best, isn't even close to being something decent, isn't something I normally would post to social media because it's just not that good. But it doesn't matter. I was using it for a warm-up, I was using it just to stretch my hands because it's been a while. You don't have to make good art. In fact, even bad art has a whole lot of potential to it. When doing some really, really crappy art and some of the things you'll see here, I found out, hey, brown and purple kind of looks pretty good together. Or, ooh, here's this bright green I've never used before. This looks pretty. Bad art is it's just a way to improve. It's just more thoughts for your art to, not more, the words are hard. It's giving you more material to think about when it comes to what you want your art to be. You can make something terrible and be like, well, I never want to be that again. And that's fine. You just have to look at it as, is anything here I like? Is there anything I like about it? Oh, I like this pretty color. Okay, take that, move on. And the next thing, sort of pulling the whole don't make good art, is to fill up a bunch of sketchbooks. Like, seriously, fill up a bunch of sketchbooks. If you are in school, chances are you have parents or friends around you who, if the sooner you tell them, hey, I like drawing, even as a hobby, they'll just give you sketchbooks for your birthday, for Christmas, even if you tell them, hey, I want something else, because a sketchbook is an easy gift, and that's what people aim for. But it works in your favor. Not the quicker, but the more sketchbooks you fill up with good or bad art or anything in between, the more you're improving. Art definitely is one of those things, like, if you just do it more, you'll figure out something decent. So that's why it's good to fill up pages with studies, but also fill it up with just pretty blocks of color in quotes. You can also take this time to really experiment. Because while you're in school, like when I first started art more in middle school, and I didn't even think about doing more of any of this YouTube or any of this social media business, I did it just because I want to, like, ooh, I saw this pretty art, I want to do something like that. Ooh, saw this pretty art, I want to do something like that. Like, it was literally like, ooh, what if I tried this? What if I do this? And those experiments, while some do end up in the garbage, it helps you improve as an artist. It helps you realize what went wrong, what doesn't go wrong. Like, so always take your teenage years as not what's the word? As some sort of transition period before college or before adulthood, especially if you're an artist. Make those characters, even the edgy ones, draw your drawings, and, like, have something to do, have something to work on. I can't stress enough how many, like, I see some of the artists around me, and they've had these OCs they've had since they were kids. They've went through 1,000 different phases, but the core of them came from kids. If you watch Ginja Ninja Wow or Ray, she mentioned how some of her characters she has now started as, like, honestly started as Neopets. And that's one thing you can really go ham about in school, because chances are you'll have a friend or two who's willing to do the same exact thing, even if they're not artists. Just make characters, give things personality, and just keep a hold on to it. There's a lot of story ideas I've had in the past, and OCs, that I've scrapped because they didn't work, I was terrible, or whatever XYZ reason. But they're always still in my mind, and I'm always willing to maybe see, well, the storyline's unsavable, but maybe some of these characters aren't. Or vice versa. These characters are garbage, but the storyline might work here. Literally, the more you create, the more you have to work with. And that's all I'm, like, really trying to stress here. While you're in school, like, take your time and do well in your non-art related things, especially when it comes to things like grades, your classes, and having friends and a social life. Not everything has to be centered around art and you going to college or art school or whatever it may be. Literally just make the most of your teenage time, but that's really it. Make the most of it. Don't treat it as a transition period, which is what me and a lot of others make the mistake of doing. We treat it as something not to pay attention to. It doesn't matter. We just want it over with. That you start looking back and realize, wow, there are so many things I could have been doing, and now I don't and sometimes you don't have that chance to, you don't always have that chance to do over middle school, high school. Yeah, and it sucks. But this is why I'm telling you guys, do as I say, not as I do. There is a lot of things you can make out of your middle and high school career. You can do a lot art-wise, you can do a lot not art-wise. And if you just sort of take that time to sit and be like, wow, I kind of want to, like, do something, or at least have something to remember of this time, that'll work great. That'll be enough. Because I've spent most of my life very depressed and very just out of it, and always thinking, get to 18, move out, college, that's where life starts. I didn't make the most of middle school, and I definitely didn't seem to make the most of my first 2 years of high school. But that doesn't mean I can't start now, and I plan to, even though I have no idea what I'm doing either. And you all can do the same. Obviously, I kept this very art specific, but this can apply to anybody. Focus on your grades, not just what you want to do in your life. Don't, keep working on what you want to do, but it's not you don't set good. You don't challenge yourself to make something you like, but try to keep the pressure minimum because like Ginja Ninja said at some point, you might find yourself not being able to do art for yourself. So enjoy it while it lasts. And sort of my last thing to definitely push out here is don't compare yourself to others, because that's one of the biggest things I'm having problems with, especially when you find other artists your age and they're doing animatics or animations, and somehow they have a lot more followers than you, and they're just doing so much better just by being your age or younger. That it hurts a lot. There's that part of your soul that gets really bitter. But if you just stop comparing and just sort of think, wow, that's cool, I want to do something like that, and just sort of try to roll with the punches and let it go, you'll feel a lot better, not only about your art, but just sort of in general. It's a hard task, and it's something, even though I've tried to continually work on, I struggle with a lot, because it's, especially if you do have those sort of insecurity issues, it really plays up the whole, are you good enough? But, yeah. This is a tad rambly, even with my little things, like bullet points I have off to the side here. I think that's just the nature of how I am, but because these aren't scripted. But I really hope you all get something out of it, even if it's just background noise, because I know I've been really into that lately. And just sort of listen to something of it. You can only take away one thing from this video. It's don't treat your teen years as something that needs to go by. Do something with it. Make the most of it, whether it be as an artist or as an academic student or whatever hobbyist you want to be. Make something out of it. Make the most you can out of it, and have fun too. Don't stress about college. It's a scam that we're all gonna do anyways. Anyway, here are the pictures of what I did this sketchbook talk. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time, whenever that may be.